Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the GM. I'm your guy, Boulanger. And up next, man, we're going to get into addressing the Baltimore Ravens' biggest offseason needs. When we think back over the 2022 season, um, it was easy to see where the Baltimore Ravens needed to add some pieces, upgrade, um, cut bait with some guys, that kind of thing. And so, even without doing that, you know, we still have some holes. And so what we want to do is we want to start addressing those needs on the defense over the next couple of videos, simply because we have too many offensive questions. We don't know who's going to be the quarterback. So if you don't know who the quarterback's going to be, then you don't know what kind of wide receiver you need to go out and get. And even if wide receivers will come. So we have too many offensive questions. And so we'll start addressing the offense after March 7th, where we have some more clarity on where things stand with Lamar Jackson. But like I told you in the last video, we're going to turn the page on that for almost a week. And so we're going to start defensively, and because the Baltimore Ravens seem to start defensively, every year they seem to bring in a big piece or make some kind of big move, have a big signing on the defensive side of the ball. And so we're going to stick with their mantra and go defense first. So let's look at a few defensive holes. Give me a second. Let me pop my screen up for you guys. Okay. And and so we're going to address the most pressing needs for the Baltimore Ravens. And this series of videos, man, we'll cover um, free agents, and then there'll be a separate video that covers rookies and who Baltimore can target in the draft. So, and I think that's perfect timing because we're in the NFL Combine season, and so there'll be a lot of measurements and strength testing and intelligence testing and height, weight, speed testing. And so I think it'll be a good time to address some of the rookie stuff too. So let's check out the first position we're going to address. So we're going to address, excuse me, free agent cornerbacks. We know that the Baltimore Ravens probably will not bring back Marcus Peters, and I think that's a smart idea. I'm not even sure if they should even try and bring back Kyle Fuller, only because you don't know how he's going to respond to the ACL injury. And we're at a time where the Baltimore Ravens have established a defense that is in win now mode. And so we can't afford to hang on to feel good stories and keep guys around who take up a roster spot and cap space on a wait and see. We've had too many wait and see opportunities over the last couple of years that didn't really pan out for us. And so now it's just time to go after guys and build this defense or complete this defense so that we can be in a real position to compete with the big time offensive weapons in the AFC. So let's look at our first candidate. The first candidate up is Jamel Dean from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Jamel is a big corner. He's about 6'1", roughly about 200 pounds, and he's still young, 26, 27 years old as he enters um, the 2023 season. Um, Jamel has good cover skills. He has good speed, and in this cornerback class, he was rated the #1 man cover guy. Um, the article that I pulled this from, I think it was on FanSpin, uh, and they compared him to his teammate Carlton Davis, who received a contract from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last year, 3 years, 44 million, and so they they kind of put Jamel Dean's potential contract in that same frame. And so, um, if Baltimore chooses to go after him, maybe they have to offer him like 4 years, 48 million, something like that. I think they could certainly do that and put him in under the cap at somewhere like a $8 million, $7 million base salary, with signing bonuses and things like that. And so I think Jamel Dean would certainly fit the scheme because we know on one side we have Marlon Humphreys, but then on the other side, Marcus Peters was more of a zone guy Humphries was more of a man guy, and he also played some slot, but Marcus Peters was more zone, and you could see him get exposed on occasion when he's gambling in coverage. And so I think Jamel Dean could be a good replacement for Marcus Peters. Let's look at the next candidate. The next candidate we have Rock Ya-Sin. He was drafted by the Indianapolis Colts in the second round and traded to the Las Vegas Raiders. And the article speaks to how he played well in the Las Vegas Raiders system. He's rated as the number 2 um, man coverage guy in this cornerback class, right behind Jamel Dean. And so, um, again, I think that having a guy who can play man along with Marlon Humphreys allows us to um, let Marcus Peters roam more, let Kyle Hamilton get down into the box, cover tight ends, blitz the quarterback. Things we saw him be good at last year. Because I think if you can hold up in man better than what we saw, I think it gives a defensive front a lot of potential. Rock Ya-Sin, he is a sizable corner as well. He's over that 6 foot mark. Um, and roughly 200 pounds, a little under 200 pounds. But I think he fits what the Baltimore Ravens need going into the 2023 season. And then our last candidate in this video is going to be Byron Murphy. He comes into the 2023 free agency. Haven't had a good season. You typically don't really see Arizona Cardinal corners really get a lot of publicity, especially after Patrick Peterson left. But this article speaks about how he spent more time outside in the 2022 season because he had split between slot and outside over his first 3 years. And I think having a guy who can play dual roles, slot and outside, is beneficial. Because we know how the Baltimore Ravens like duality in a player. A player who can do multiple things, play multiple positions. But at the same time, I think that we need a guy who can play more man, because I think we can certainly benefit from getting a nickel corner maybe in the draft, or we may have 2 guys on the roster in Pepe and or what's that guy's name? Jalen Armour-Davis, who could fill in that slot role. All right. So let's look at the GM pick. The GM picks Rock Ya-Sin. And so here's why. So Rock Ya-Sin is young. His second round selection speaks to some pre-draft ability, some pre-draft talent that was recognized, and then we saw him perform well in the Las Vegas Raiders system. And here's why that's important. Las Vegas has never been known for solid defense, at least over the last 4 to 5 years. And so any guy who plays well in that system with a new coach, I think can certainly perform even better in a Baltimore Ravens defensive focus system where you have more of a focus on defense, more of a teaching, more of a buying into the philosophy. And so I think by him being young and still have an ability to learn, develop, and grow as a corner, I think that he's our best candidate. And I even would select him over Jamel Dean simply because Rock Ya-Sin does not have the injury history that Jamel Dean has had in his first several years. And so he would be the selection. So that would certainly address the need for a corner in free agency, which would then free up the 22nd overall pick, 23rd overall pick in the draft. So that's our first video addressing the Baltimore Ravens need. Let me know what you guys want me to know, man. Hit the like button, hit subscribe, share it with a friend, and then let me know some candidates you guys would like to see. I told you guys before, I would love to see um, your selections, your ideas, your opinions, um, especially now that we're in that free agency time period where, we have about 14 days to free agency really kicks off. And so, a part of what we do at the GM is we want to, access our inner GM and dream up a little bit what we want our team to do. So, thank you guys. Again, I'm your guy Boulanger. This is the GM, and I'm out.